I think the difference between this lockdown and the first lockdown is the fact that on the TVs we have had sport, which has given us a little bit of sanity. But it's quite something that. Have you any thoughts for the people maybe further down the pyramid who are maybe got concerns about their jobs and working with restricted budgets because the money's not been there? You're maybe in a position where you can see the whole industry and have a thought
Sure.
on the rest of the guys out there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we are in one of those industries that's always run on tight budgets and minimal staff. And unfortunately, being in the leisure industry, they tend to be the first industry where budgets get capped and things get closed. And so it is a worrying time of what is the long term effect. I don't think we're really feeling it too much short term effect at the moment, because I think there's a lot of as much support out there as possibly can be from government and stuff. But once all that finishes, it'll be interesting to see what lies out there. And I think it's probably more from like the Sunday league stuff, the small tennis clubs, the small golf sort of cricket clubs that are kind of managed voluntarily by themselves. It's these sort of places where you fear that things are going to really happen. So but again, within our industry where we can support it, then hopefully we can.
Two more questions. First one, what is it you're most looking forward to doing once the restrictions are lifted? What one thing? It doesn't even have to be work-wise.
I think just getting back into some sort of normality, really, and just sort of, again, we've been quite fortunate here that we still have been coming into work. So there has always been that degree of normality. But I think just trying to get, that collaboration with work colleagues, that's the one thing that I've probably missed the most, is that the fact that most meetings now, like this one today, it's either on Teams or Zoom. And whereas normally you could sort of come to the club and conduct this interview whilst walking the grounds and show people what you're trying to explain to them, whereas a lot of the meetings, well, all of my meetings that have been held since last March have all been via a laptop within the different departments. And speaking to them, that some of the guys in IT and in finance and stuff literally haven't been on site since last March, and it's really hard for me to understand how they must be feeling, because I've been coming in, and at the same time I try and put myself in their position to sort of try and do your job from home for the last 12 months. Again, it must be so frustrating and difficult. So I think I'm just looking forward to kind of my colleagues kind of coming back to work, and we can kind of have that face-to-face collaboration again. And just, that's pretty much and I think that's probably just because humans are naturally sort of creatures that are sociable. And I think, people being locked away and stuff, it's kind of, mental health and stuff like that is really coming to the fore in the last sort of 12 months.
Right, last question. Does the club still have croquet involved in its title?
Yes.
Yeah. Right. What's the physiology of a croquet lawn? What is it? What's a croquet lawn all about? Is it just a cut grass, or what do you do to produce a croquet court?
Yeah, so
Lawn.
A good croquet lawn is pretty much sort of maintained the same as you would a golf green, really, and they've got their own special croquet style stimp meter for a certain true running lawn and stuff. So yeah, our 3 croquet lawns are kind of like sort of hybrid lawns where they double up as tennis courts as well, so in blocks of 2, so we can get full-size croquet lawns on 3 of our double blocks of practice courts. And outside of the championships, they're year-round croquet, or for the summer, should I say, and then we just take them back as tennis courts for the championship, so they kind of get used for both. So again, it's quite interesting to sort of try and produce 2 different surfaces with the same sort of seed mix and soil and stuff, and just trying to adapt it to sort of do both sports. But we do have a very active croquet section here at the club, and they kind of have their lawns from sort of April through to the end of September, and they're quite widely used by the membership. So it's
maybe need to do an article on a croquet lawn, the physiology.
Yeah, well, the weird thing is that even now, croquet is one of those sports that I think if you know it really well, it's probably quite an easy sport to understand and with the rules and stuff. But even after being here for 25 years, I can sometimes be watching our members playing croquet and try and think about what their next shot might be. And then they do something completely different. And I just don't understand why they've done it. So it's one of those rules that it's just really difficult that I don't understand. But there's a couple of different versions. So there's like a golf croquet, which is almost like it's like croquet's version of cricket's sort of T20, where it's fast and it's quick, and it's kind of designed to get sort of more people playing it, and it's instead of it being a 3 or 4 hour game, it ends up being like a 1 hour game, and you can just sort of play it a lot more. So maybe I should.
Television companies coming calling to televise croquet.
Oh well, I'm not so sure how popular that sport will become, but it's more of a social weekend thing, I think, rather than a bit like the bowls, I think.
Anyway, Neil, thank you very much for giving us a little bit of your time today, and it's great to hear what's gone on over the last 12 months and the preparations that are going into the coming championships this summer, and fingers crossed that everything goes well and we do get some crowds in there to ooh and ah the wonderful tennis that's on display. So thank you very much again, and keep well, and pass on my best wishes to the rest of the team.
I will. Cheers. Thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you all in the summer.